I'm Jack Tabor, and this is the English 102 Podcast. And today in the studio, I have Professor Jingrong Huang. And she's here to talk to you and to me about American Americans. And so, Jing, tell us about American Americans.
Okay.
Where do you want to begin?
It's
a big question.
It is a huge
question. Where do we start?
Right. First, Jack, thank you so much for having me here. And I really appreciate that. And thinking of American Americans, I think the first thing is American has the most movies in the world, probably, and mostly the best movies in the world. When I say this, I'm hesitating. I told my class, say, shut on your TV, do the homework, and you get better grade. And they probably think, what are you watching? And I do watch some TV, and I watch some movies. Especially, I like to recommend this one. It's called Extraordinary Measures. So in this movie, there's Brendan Fraser and Harrison Ford. It's based on a true story. This family has two children who had severe diseases, and the father pleaded to this scientist and tried to find a cure for this disease. And unbelievably, and it was done. So that's one part. Another part is, by coincidence, I happen to live in the same school district as the family, and I attended the 8th grade graduation ceremony for their daughter. And it just brought me to tears, and I believe a lot of other people too, when we watch this girl, when her wheelchair goes across the stage, when she received the graduation diploma, and it's just touching. It's not possible anywhere else in the world.
Okay. So, and you bring up this story to talk a little bit about what can happen in America, right? Her father works very hard to help find a cure for her, right? And actually is successful in doing that. That's part of the story. She is cured. And in the story you're talking about, not only is she cured, but she's really embraced by her community.
Yes. And
you saw this as being a really prime example of what America means. Yes. In a nutshell, what is that exactly in your mind? How is that? What is it that can be achieved in America? Not that these things can't be achieved in other places in the world, certainly. It's just that you really see this as being a fundamental difference.
Right.
Is it the idea of community? Is it the idea of setting oneself to a task, or what is it that you saw in that?
I see this as that America is very special in value diversity. Not just value, I think diversity is really celebrated in America. And that goes beyond. To understand diversity, my first reaction is diversity. Well, we like to eat different food. That's diversity. And then maybe we speak a different second language. That's diversity. And also there's man, woman, gender difference. That's diversity. I think in America it goes way beyond that. And for people with disability in America, they are so respected. And I think, so this is an example. The school has all kinds of accommodation to make it possible for this daughter to learn so much and grow and mature, and just like other kids.
Right, right. And in your experience of being a professor here at Mercer, how does the same kind of diversity, how have you encountered it here as a teacher working with students?
That's a very interesting question. I think it's like a work in progress. I don't think we'll have achieved everything yet. But when I started teaching in the classroom, I understand we need to accommodate diversity. But my thinking was just like, some may not understand English very well. So we need to put on in writing, and so that'll help them. In fact, when I started graduate school in this country, I did not speak a word and I did not understand a word, because I learned English mostly on myself, and we use a British textbook and Chinese teachers, and we had nobody to talk to. And it's really difficult. So I could understand that part easily. But it's really later through working with many of my colleagues here. For example, recently we worked on a committee, and we talked a lot about diversity, such as students have different learning styles. So I'm thinking, in America, even your learning styles are taken into consideration by the professors when they design the class, so that the class will provide everybody the best opportunity to learn. So I think that's really very special.
Right, so a real drive to consider all different kinds of people and include them in the sense of community, and it's not just race, ethnicity.
Right.
In other words, what really defines American is this real sensitivity to, if I say it's a sensitivity to difference, it's not just merely that, it's an understanding that there are differences and that's fine. I mean, and that there's room for everyone here, or this kind of thing.
I agree with you. It goes beyond sensitivity. It's really empowering all kinds of people, and that's truly very special.
Yeah. Now, previously we were talking about when you first came to the United States and you went to UC Irvine.
Yes.
And that's where you studied. That's where you went to graduate school. Talk to me a little bit about that was when you came to the United States from China.
Yes.
And describe, if you would, a moment where you really realized this is what American means, or I gave you that question.
Right. Yes.
Talk about a moment where that really became defined in your mind when you first came here.
Sure. See, when the plane landed, I found lots of things interesting. Yeah, Irvine, California is a very interesting place. It's a new town.
California is a very interesting
California
place.
is a very interesting place.
I went to UC Berkeley. It's a very interesting place.
Isn't it? Okay, so first, that's a shock with all these flowers all around our dorms, and I was thinking, where am I? And with the weather, I did not take out my umbrella for, I think, 6 months maybe.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, wow, everything is so perfect and people are nice. And we had our first quantum mechanics class. I remember this professor, his name's Roger Williams. He literally walked in with flip-flops and floral pants. He just came back from a surfing trip, and I was pretty shocked.
This is your esteemed professor. I take it in China, your professor doesn't wear flip-flops and floral pants.
No, not really.
Not really, no.
But I think it's really something else we saw that truly shocked us. I mean, me and my office mate, we started graduate school at the same time, and we happened to be roommates still. And one day, and this is after the San Francisco earthquake, 1989.
1989, yeah.
Right. Our offices moved to these trailers, and the trailers are extremely noisy. If somebody walked by, you see this stomping sound. And so one day there was one student coming, actually in a wheelchair, and of course then we saw his hair all colored in different colors and different shades, but we already got used to that. We got over that part of the culture shock. But he came up, didn't really see us, but he just walked by. We saw him with this bright, sunny smile on his face, with the wheelchair, and we looked at each other. My office mate and I, we looked at each other, we said, wow, this is different. America is different. Everybody has a chance, has an opportunity. And you really are, I say, empowered to get over your difficulties. Mm-hmm. Being physical or any other form of difficulties or differences, I say. Right. And so we promised to each other in our life, ever since that point, we're going to always remember this moment, and we're going to always try to put up our best smile in the face of any situation. So in that sense, I say, so that's one of the reasons I really like this movie. I think in America, diversity is so valued and encouraged, and everybody's encouraged to succeed. If you put up a big effort, or I say in an extreme way, extraordinary measures, you are going to succeed.
That's great.
And it's possible, probably only in America. So that's very special, I think.
Jenny, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jack, for the opportunity.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.